Jacqui, great to see you
How are you
again.
getting on, Marcus?
You ready
Good
to
to
go
see
out and have a look at the course?
I hope you're
You
going to help me.
excited?
I'm going to learn plenty off you.
Excellent. Jacqui, we're on our way down to the 8th hole here in Druids Glen. The reason we're going with the 8th hole is this was actually voted the favourite hole on the golf course by our lady members.
Nice.
And I think it's only fitting that I talk to you today about women in sport and growing the ladies' game. You've been championing Irish women's sport for a number of years now. What do you feel are the biggest contributors to growing Irish women's sport at the moment?
Well, I think, to be honest, a lot of it is to do with the people. Like, look at the group of women that we have at the moment on the global stage who are Irish. Like, we're very privileged to have the likes of Leona Maguire in golf, Katie Taylor, Rachel Blackmore, you know, like amazing sports people who I think in Ireland have really made a name for themselves in the last couple of years. And that's what it is. Like, so to me, it's all about like trying to consistently make sure that there are more stars coming through, and they're getting to watch the likes of them doing it on a global stage has been phenomenal.
So Jacqui, you'll stand here now and you'll just notice everything's got bigger.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a bigger tee box for obviously greater variety in tee placements. We've got a much bigger green, much bigger bunkers, and a more likely chance of hitting the water too.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The thing that I see that is bigger is the water, because I'm standing here thinking, wow, like I've got a long hit to get over that.
Yeah, from the ladies' tee now, you're talking a good over 110 yards to carry on to the green.
Yeah.
So pretty challenging.
Yeah, well, on a wild day up here, I tell you, you'd want to really go for it now.
I've seen you hit a golf ball, Jacqui. That is no bother to you. What would you be hitting, 110?
I'd probably take the 9-iron off
9
that, I'd say, and I'd go for that,
9-iron,
yeah.
not a bother. I tell you, I wouldn't be taking too much less myself. What do you think is the biggest barrier in the visibility of women in sport today?
I think the difficulty has always been that people felt it wasn't as good as men's sport. Whereas I think even if you watch the Irish Open recently, you will have seen that women can play the sport in a spectacular way, and suddenly you realise, okay, actually the product is really good. So before, I think the biggest barrier was maybe that people were just not aware, maybe they didn't realise that they'd actually enjoy it. But I think if you watch the women's Euros in the summer, it was a spectacular tournament. Like, you go and you watch the Irish women's soccer team, you'll get as much joy watching them as you do watching the men's team. So I think it's just maybe understanding that the ceiling on it is so high now, that women's sport has just spectacular room for growth, but that the product is really, really good now.
Absolutely. I mean, I see it with WSL, I see it with women's boxing, I'm seeing women's GAA. We're seeing full stadiums, which is just incredible.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
look, I'd love to think that in my lifetime we will get a full Croke Park for a women's game. And I think we're not a million miles away from that. It's amazing to see spectators turning out to watch women's sport now. And I think that that is only going one way, which is a great thing.
Will we take a walk up to the green?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Jacqui, when we look at kind of 2022 in Druids Glen, a real highlight for me was your golf day in conjunction with Golf Ireland, which was a women in sport golf day held on International Women's Day. And I think we can definitely say the day was a huge success.
It was, and like, I mean, the weather was atrocious, but we had such a spectacular day. It was just 80 women from across sports. We had world champions here, Olympians here, internationals across multiple sports. And the best thing was watching them all interact together, because I think we assumed that they all know each other, but actually they don't. A lot of them were only meeting each other on the course, and like, so that was brilliant. And then the other part is like watching them all expecting that they're going to be brilliant at golf because they're world champions, and then they weren't, which was really, we had a lot of laughs on the day with that as well.